it's gonna get cut. Ah! I bent the dust cover. I should fact check that. My dog is making a mess. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I will be doing a haul video based on my Barnes & Noble purchases from their #book haul sale. And I'm very excited about all of my new books, even though I just promised myself that I'm going to rewrite my own book, and then I'll finish all the books that I already owned, and then I'll move on to these. Mama didn't raise a quitter, but she did raise a fool, so the only book that I bought last weekend that wasn't part of the book haul sale is Avatar: The Rise of Kyoshi, which is the new novelization of the legend of Kyoshi, who is one of the previous iterations of the Avatar before Aang and before Korra, my girl. And I'm really excited to read this because I bought Will a copy for his birthday in August, and now I own it, and so we're gonna book club it together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And this version is like a special Barnes & Noble version, and it comes with art, and I've heard that it's amazing, and it has a really high Goodreads rating, and I'm just so excited. Another outlier on my book list is I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. It's a non-fiction book about the Golden State Killer and the woman who ended up tracking him down. And I'm super excited to read it because I set myself a challenge for 2019 that I would read more non-fiction, and it turns out that I love true crime even though it freaks me out, so I'm stoked to read this. I bought a couple of sci-fi books, one being this monstrosity, Fall by Neal Stephenson. He is one of my favorite authors. I read Snow Crash by him 3 or 4 years ago in one really brutal 10-hour sitting after a recommendation from a girl that I had a crush on, and I am just so excited to get back to him, his stuff. He has a really interesting take on the world. It'll be good. The second sci-fi book that I purchased last weekend is Machines Like Me by Ian McEwan. The premise is that two people who are in love end up with a humanoid robot, and they set him up to be the perfect person for them, and then naturally they end up in a love triangle. So I'm really excited for it because I think the premise is great. I told myself I wasn't going to buy books that I already had a copy of, but that didn't end up working out because I saw that the paperback version of Rainbow Rowell's Carry On was for sale. I love the paperback art. I'm so thrilled that it's going to match the next book, Wayward Son, which comes out in, oh my god, it comes out at the end of the month. One time Will and I fostered puppies from the animal shelter where we went to college, and they were tiny. They were only 5 weeks old, and one was light brown and one was black, and we named them Simon and Baz. And they were really cute, and then we had to give them back to the shelter, and they were happily adopted 2 weeks later, but I still miss them. I also bought Philip Pullman's new book, La Belle Sauvage. It's the first book in his new trilogy, The Book of Dust, and I fell in love with Philip Pullman's world when I was a child. I read his Dark Materials when I was young and then reread them recently, and I'm happy to say that they've held up. So much so that I actually named my dog Pantalaimon after Lyra's Daemon, and I am just so thrilled to go back. I bought a book that I didn't really know anything about, but I'm thrilled to be holding it in my hands. It is The End of the World Running Club by Adrian J. Walker, and it looks really fun. It's a post-apocalyptic thriller about getting back to your family after the apocalypse, which honestly is one of my biggest fears, so if Adrian J. Walker has any tips, I'm all ears. Oh, hi buddy. Another book that I bought that I don't really know a ton about, but I've heard amazing things about the author is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I also was drawn to this because I follow the artist of the cover on Instagram, Charlie Bowater. She did the A Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass art, and I am stoked to read this, especially because one of my college roommates has been badgering me about reading a Brandon Sanderson book for years, and I've never gotten to it, and now I finally will, so he'll stop hating me. Finally, my last book is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the most recent book in the Grishaverse, which I fell in love with when I read Six of Crows 3 years ago, and then I read Crooked Kingdom and had my heart ripped out, as one does, and I've been badgering Will about reading Six of Crows forever, especially because he just read Ninth House and loved it so much, and then he actually shipped me Ninth House, so I'm gonna get to read it next. And between this and the trilogy and the Six of Crows show coming out, I'm basically just gonna sell my soul to Leigh Bardugo for the next 6 months, and then I'll just see if I can get it back after that, and then do something else. My neighbors are walking outside my window. I hope you enjoyed this haul. I had a good time filming it. It turns out that I'm actually just a terrible, terrible impulse buyer, and I have no real connection to some of these books. I haven't read Atonement. I don't really know what the End of the World Running Club is about, but I'm really excited to read it, and I'm excited to review it and talk about it with you guys. Thanks. See you next time.